Harry Douglas, Freddie Coleman. We are on Sportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. We are presented by Progressive Insurance, ESPN2 as well. So last night, Ohio State...
real quick, everyone silence their cell phones for this segment, thanks.
Mine's off.
Mine's never gone off. Only when
it actually wasn't my cell phone, it was my computer.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That's usually what happens to me.
My phone has only gone off with one thing.
Siri.
Yeah. When I say Nick Sirianni,
my
phone goes
every
so
time.
bizarre.
It does
Nick
every time.
Sirianni.
Didn't work.
No, didn't work. Wow,
work
great
that
pick.
time.
Okay, back to you, Bob. All right, so Ohio State wins the national championship last night. Awesome performance, up 31-7. Yes, Notre Dame came back, right? Notre Dame came back in the game. Ohio State held them off on a 3rd and 11, an unbelievable pass play to Jeremiah Smith, who would probably be the number one pick in the draft this year, potentially, but he's 19 years old and he's a freshman. Anyway, so Marcus Freeman loses last night. The team with the Notre Dame, the team that he was most closely associated with, the Bears, make their hire of Ben Johnson. Ryan Day, my suggestion was to peace out after he won a championship and go to the NFL. There's been no talk of that, so it seems like I'm going to be wrong yet again on something here. So let's take a spin on the coaching carousel as to where we are going to go here. I'm going to give you a team. You tell me where you think they're going to go. Let's start with this team. I don't know if people have heard of this team. We don't talk about them a lot. The Dallas Cowboys. Let's start there.
Now, this is where we think they're going to go, because I have 3 names for the Cowboys. One that I want them to do, where they should go, and where I think they'll go.
No, you're in charge?
Well,
playing matchmaker.
I'll just give you all 3.
So when you play matchmaker, do you I hope this works out for them? Or
They're going to probably go with Kellen Moore, even though I don't think that's where they should go, right? Like, if we're doing the matchmaker, I'm saying get out of your comfort zone here. Maybe you should try an opposites attract type of approach, and you'll have more success. Kellen Moore is kind of more of the same when it comes to Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, no? I would love for them to bring Deion in just because it would be so fun for us. You know who they should hire is Marcus Freeman. They should bring in somebody who's young, somebody who brings reverence and respect to a locker room, somebody that can get guys to pour in, somebody that knows how to build a culture. I think Marcus Freeman would be an awesome pick for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think it's going to happen, but you bring somebody that brings a modicum of seriousness back to what has become just a joke in a circus.
Any more candidates you want to do for matchmaker? You gave 3 candidates for one job.
Well, because I thought that it was going to be what we wanted them to do, not what we think they're going to do.
Let me rephrase. Let's do one name, each of us, quick hitters. Here we go. CC, Cowboys.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Ooh.
All right, I've got Kellen Moore. Smalls, Jets.
Joe Brady.
Aaron Glenn.
I got Aaron Glenn as well. Raiders.
Pete Carroll.
I'm going to go with Joe Brady from the
Brady
Buffalo
hires
Bills.
Brady.
Yeah.
Brady lost out to the Bears on Ben Johnson. This is the first time in Tom Brady's professional career that the biggest problem with this team is he doesn't have a quarterback. Think about that for a second. He's never been on a team without a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. Somebody else chooses them.
Yeah, how are you feeling today that somebody spurned your boy?
Guess Brady can't win without Belichick, except when he won without Belichick. I'm going to go Brian Flores for the Raiders. I can't find a job for him other than that, and I want him to be a head coach, and obviously the familiarity with Brady. All right, matchmaker, Saints.
Aaron Glenn. It feels like it's trending towards the Jets with him. I think he's excellent, and I don't want him to do that to himself. I would love for him to go to the Saints.
Mike McCarthy.
That's what I have. Mike McCarthy. Been there before as an OC. Right? Yeah. Jacksonville.
I have Mike McCarthy there. Help with Trevor Lawrence.
DC.
Jacksonville. My goodness. I mean, this is going to be tough for Jacksonville. Who do you have in Jacksonville?
Okay, so I'm putting Robert Saleh, former head coach of the Jets, because Shefty reported this yesterday that they're down to 3. Well, they're bringing in 3 candidates for second interviews. All right, and those 3 candidates are Robert Saleh, former head coach of the Jets, Patrick Graham, former defensive coordinator for the Raiders, been with the Giants, and then most of his time with the Patriots, and then Liam Cohen, no relation, spelled differently, the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Bucks.
I could see Liam Cohen landing that job.
I could too.
Which would be the exact opposite of what we have said for them to do. Right, because Liam Cohen would then be hired to work with Trevor Lawrence, and Robert Saleh would be hired to work with the team in the defense, and then somebody else works with Trevor Lawrence.
But looking what Liam Cohen did with the Bake Show, I can see the Jacksonville Jaguars saying, we've got so much invested in Trevor Lawrence, we need somebody that can resurrect his career, give him a second act, and Liam Cohen would be the guy.
I know it's more of the same, technically, because of Doug Peterson, but that's the route I think they should go, because this is just such a precarious situation that they're in with Trevor Lawrence.
So based on this, we are saying Marcus Freeman, I know you suggested Cowboys, but Marcus Freeman is not an NFL head coach next year, coming off his loss last night to Ohio State in the national championship game for Notre Dame. You two are both saying Brian Flores is not an NFL head coach next year, and we're all saying that Pete Carroll is not an NFL head coach next year, even though there's some buzz around the Raiders.
I put him with the Raiders.
I'm sorry. You're the only one then who put him with the Raiders. We didn't even consider him anywhere else. Let's go there. Why Pete Carroll with the Raiders, Smalls?
Well, it feels like it's trending there based on reports, and this is somebody who has gotten it done at the highest level that will come in, know how to, even at his age, stage infuse positivity and excitement into that building. And I think Pete Carroll will know how to assemble a staff. If you're in your 70s, what's the best way for you to be able to effectively do that job? Hire really strong coordinators and delegate accordingly, which I think Pete Carroll has done. And I have no doubt that he'd be able to do it again.
One update, Dan Graziano, ESPN NFL reporter, tweeted at Graziano ESPN. Per sources, Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn's in-person second interview with the Jets for their head coach job is scheduled for today. At this time, the Jets have no other interviews scheduled. That could change, but it gives you some idea where Glenn is on their list. So Aaron Glenn seems like he's going to be able to pick maybe between the Jets and the Saints. And I know that there's been a lot of buzz from Shefty and others that like some of these are going to happen right away. Ben Johnson happened yesterday, which I'm fascinated about one thing with Ben Johnson. What if the Lions kept on winning? Would the Bears have waited for him? Or would they have tried to hire Mike McCarthy? And then how does that factor into the Saints and Jets with Aaron Glenn, where the Saints have tried to hire Mike McCarthy? It's weird to me that your decision-making on your head coach could be made based on another team's success or lack thereof. I would love to know the answer from the Chicago Bears. If the Lions went to the Super Bowl, who their head coach would be.
I think they're probably waiting on Ben Johnson.
I agree.
Are they the only ones that would wait on Ben Johnson?
No, I think other people would have, but I don't know that anybody else would be willing to go where the Bears.
On ESPN Radio, two massive stories today. Ohio State wins the national championship, a game you heard right here on ESPN Radio, a game you saw on ESPN television. They beat Notre Dame 34-23. They were up 31-27. Notre Dame comes all the way back on a huge 3rd and 11 late in a one-score game. A 50-plus yard pass from Will Howard to Jeremiah Smith, who's about 12 years old and is probably better than any wide receiver in the NFL. That guy is unfreaking believable.
Doesn't look 12 years old.
Oh, my God. He's really 18, I think. He's
19.
19 years old, and he's unbelievable.
Man.
And Ryan Day lost to Michigan. He's 70-10 and won a national championship. The other big story. Ben Johnson, the hottest candidate out there, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, gets hired by the Chicago Bears. And we did something a few weeks ago on our show. Go back on the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and listen to all 4 hours. And we built out the criteria for what these teams should be looking for with their head coaches. And when CC built out the Chicago Bears, you said basically a been there, done that guy, right? When they make the move to try to get Mike Tomlin and they get turned down, check. That's what you were looking for. When they're interviewing Mike McCarthy, check. That's what you're looking for. Somebody who has almost borderline guaranteed success, okay? And I'm listening yesterday to ESPN 1000, and Carmen and Yurko, Waddle and Sylvie do a little crosstalk that they do at the end of their shows. And John Yurko, who is a former NFL player, played on the defensive line, as credible as a guy there is, and he simply stated to all Bears fans, no complaining. This is who you all wanted.
Yep.
If it doesn't work out, you can't call ESPN 1000 in Chicago and complain, oh, Warren doesn't know what he's doing, Poles doesn't know what he's doing. You guys all asked for this. He never said it wasn't going to work out. What Yurko said was, you got what you wanted. Now, what I would say in response to that is along the lines of what Cece said. Are we sure this is going to work? What Ben Johnson is now is what Adam Gase was with Peyton Manning. What Josh McDaniels was multiple times over with Tom Brady. And unfortunately for both of those guys, in 2 different stops, they did not become great head coaches. How do we know that this is McVay and Shanahan and not McDaniels and Gase?
You don't.
So why is it such an obvious sure thing that they got the hottest candidate out there to be their head coach versus the guy that we were saying with Mike McCarthy that you know you're going to be boring, but you're going to win 10-plus games every year?
Nothing's a sure thing.
No, Mike McCarthy's a sure thing.
Mike McCarthy is about as sure of a thing.
He's about as sure of a thing as you're going to get. But I think if you're the Bears, this infuses that building and that fan base with a different type of excitement and hope. And he could be the best head coach that we see come through that division. We don't know yet. We don't know. But you could have gone with the safe choice in Mike McCarthy, who you did interview. You wooed him. You brought him to Chicago. Or you could go with the guy that your quarterback publicly wants, that has had so much success in your division, that's young, could grow with your quarterback together, that could bring in some creativity, some innovation. But it all comes down to they are taking the biggest swing that they possibly can. They think that Ben Johnson, they've identified him, and so many other franchises around the NFL did too, by the way, because he's been a hot candidate, not just this year, but last year as well. They have said, we're going to go and swing for the fences. This is the hottest name out there. We've been watching him absolutely torch our division on the offensive side of the ball. We have an offensive player that is quite literally the future, the present and future of our organization, and we can't get...
Hey there, Cowboys fan. Welcome to Cowboys News TV, your top source for everything Dallas Cowboys. I'm excited to bring you some breaking news today. We've got an unexpected and potentially huge addition heading our way in Dallas. This is big news that could shake things up for our team. Before we dive into the details, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Now, let's get into it. Alright, let's. get to the meat of it. Just happened, folks. The Dallas Cowboys have received some unexpected news, and it looks like a huge addition is arriving in Dallas. This could be a game changer for us. Whether you're a seasoned fan or new to the Cowboys Nation, this news is sure to get you excited. The Cowboys have been linked with some top names, but nobody saw this coming. With this new addition, we're looking at a potential shift in our strategy and an overall boost in our performance. This could be the key to unlocking our full potential this season. So, what do you think about this big news? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, let's have a poll. Who do you think this new addition is? Can't wait to see your guesses. Now that we've got the breaking news out of the way, let's dive into what this new addition means for our Cowboys. Whether it's a player or a coach, this is someone with serious credentials and a background that demands attention. If we're talking about a new player, think about how they'll fit into our existing roster. What strengths do they bring? Maybe it's a seasoned wide receiver who can give our offense that extra push, or a defensive powerhouse to shore up our backline. Either way, this addition could be the missing piece we've been looking for. On the other hand, if it's a new coach, consider the change in strategy and culture they might introduce. A fresh perspective can do wonders for a team that's looking to make a deep playoff run. I'm curious, what do you think this new addition brings to the table? Do you see them fitting seamlessly into our current lineup, or do you think there will be some adjustments needed? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to vote in our poll about this new addition. Alright, Cowboys fans, this is where you come in. We've already seen some buzzing reactions on social media about this new addition. Some fans are thrilled, hoping this will be the key to turning our season around. Others are cautiously optimistic, waiting to see how it all pans out. Now, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this unexpected news? Do you think this new addition is what we need to propel us to the top? Head to the comments section and share your opinion. And while you're there, participate in our poll. Do you think this new addition will make a significant impact on the Cowboys' performance? Engaging with your fellow fans can be a lot of fun, and who knows, your comment might get featured in our next video. Up next, we'll wrap things up with some final thoughts and future speculations. Alright, Cowboys Nation, that wraps up our discussion on the unexpected news about our new addition. We've covered the breaking news, analyzed what this could mean for the team, and heard some of your reactions. This could be a significant turning point for the Cowboys, and we're all eager to see how it unfolds. What's next for our team? Could this be the start of a winning streak, or perhaps even a deep playoff run? Only time will tell. Stay tuned for more updates, and as always, go Cowboys! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content.